Hey guys, welcome back. I'm your host, Carissa.
And I'm Christian, and this is A Lot in Common. You guys, there's a video that's going around right now. I guess this weekend she had another flop on stage. And so we're going to play it. You tell us what you think. Is this normal verbiage that you would say as a very devout Christian woman about your very devout Christian husband after he has passed away? Let's see what you think.
But when I said that, it was because it was something I really meant. And again, it wasn't scripted. And I just knew that saying that was my moment of being able to literally make a statement against Satan, saying, you can take my husband and you can try to divide this country, but I refuse to let you take any piece of me, because I need to be here for my babies. And I need to also be here for what my husband left for us and entrusted to us.
All right.
Alrighty.
What do you think of that, sister?
Well, she's assuming that Charlie is in hell.
Right.
And if you're a follower of Christ, you usually don't end up there. I don't think so. She's totally just confused here.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole sentiment would be like, okay, somebody was evil and like possessed by Satan that killed your husband, but that's still not the way that you say that, right?
Totally not the way you say it, especially when the whole world thinks that you're evil.
Yeah,
If
exactly.
the whole world thinks you're evil, you should probably not say Satan's name, but I think it's probably has to do with their disclosure. They have to
Right.
disclose. Like the devil has to let
Yes.
you know what he's doing, and he can be tricky with it, but he has to let you know.
Yeah.
And so this probably means so much more than we could ever imagine. She's
Yeah.
probably like, I have to declare this now. So she's saying something
Right.
cryptic. Who knows?
Right.
What do you think about it?
I think it's I agree with you. And I think it's very interesting how she has to find the time, even in that little snippet in that piece, to still bring up the company, her husband's company. And so she's kind of like blackballing people still by telling them that my husband's taken by Satan. You have to love and support his company. It feels
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
You didn't need to bring up his company, especially in that conversation at all.
Yeah.
And then also I thought it was interesting in the beginning of the video. It's very interesting how she says it wasn't scripted.
Yeah.
Right? Because she's also doing like a stab at Candace Owens for saying that Blake Neff writes all of her speeches, which I'm
Yes.
sure he does.
Oh,
Or
yeah.
allegedly.
Somebody does.
Somebody does. And
Somebody does.
You were even talking about this one of our last podcasts. You
Yeah.
were saying like how is she so passionate about something that was just written that morning, right?
Right.
Very true. But
Yeah.
she's like trying to say, again, it wasn't scripted. Like, you didn't need to say that.
Yeah.
You're taking a stab and you're trying to like clarify that it wasn't, everything you say is not scripted. I don't believe you. I think that is lies.
I think that is lies as well.
Yeah. And I just think the whole thing's weird. I think it's weird. It's creepy. Again, you're creepy again, Erika.
Come on.
Jeez.
I don't think she can be normal. This is her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What did Candace Owens say about it? So Candace Owens has a reply to this. She says, why would you tell Satan you can take my husband? Satan doesn't have Charlie. He actually refused to sell his soul to Nice.
Love that.
Yeah. He
Candace is the
refused
best.
to sell his soul to Israel, a.k.a. Satan.
Yeah. Yeah. And he did. Tucker Carlson brought up how Charlie Kirk was probably killed by. They asked him, does he feel safe? And he goes, no, nobody feels safe. I mean, even look at Charlie Kirk. And he wasn't killed by some furry. He was killed by. So Tucker's going along with the narrative, this true narrative. He's not speaking out against Candace at all like they want to say, like he's not responding to Candace and all these things. He's actually speaking out on it. So take a look at this.
Have there been threats?
Have there been? Yeah, well, of course there have been threats. Were you kidding? Yeah.
And
I know,
does,
but aren't you used to that? Like you're outspoken on a lot of stuff, right? Like for many, many, many years, this can't be new to you.
Well, you're never going to hear me whine about threats ever. To me, because I got on this voluntarily. I know I got fired after 15 years, the highest rated show in American cable television. So, and I got fired for my opinions. So and I'm not whining at all. I'm so grateful that I got fired. I'm just saying it's not like I didn't know what the price is. I do know what the price is. Charlie Kirk was murdered.
Yeah.
And he was not murdered for his opinions on transgenderism, obviously. He was, I believe, and most people who knew him well, as I did, and was friends with him as I was, believe he was most likely murdered for his evolving views on Israel.
It's powerful.
Yeah, it is.
That's very powerful.
Yes, it is. This is wild. What is that?
This is them
Pretending to bring Charlie's body?
Yeah, look at Mikey Mccoy. This is
Okay.
Mikey McCoy
Okay.
standing there.
What is he
You
doing?
can't even look at it.
We can't look at what?
Charlie Kirk's casket. He's standing like this, like looking away. Do you see him?
Yeah. What?
Because he knows what they did to him. He knows about it. And so look at him holding it. Like, look at that.
Mm.
Because everybody always says Mikey Mccoy has he was the weak link, and that's why they started introducing him as the magical Mikey McCoy and the magnificent, amazing Mikey McCoy, because they knew he could crack, so they were trying to build him up.
Oh my gosh, that makes so much sense because he's the one that warned Candace about Andrew Colvett. Didn't he send her a message?
Well, I'm not sure.
Yeah, he said, Mikey McCoy said, you should look out for Andrew. That was like a big thing she covered.
Oh, yeah.
Remember?
Yes. It's Andrew Colvett, right? This is Tyler Bauer. Watch his reaction. When they put it down, look at his face. Watch. Weird little, what's that?
Yeah, fake ass.
What's
Just
that?
super fake. Look at these guys. Who gave them the reins to put his body in there? Like, how disgusting is that?
Yeah.
Wow, these little snakes, dude. These snaky, weak men. I'm serious.
Yeah, I agree.
Taking money, like how? Ugh.
And plotting it, right?
Plotting
it's not just
it,
they
money,
did it.
all that.
How long were they in there infiltrating his business and all of his time and pretending to be his friends? How long were they doing this for? Because if you heard, I guess that Tyler Bauer was the one that originally introduced Charlie Kirk and Erika Kirk. He's supposedly been good friends with Charlie for a long time. He's also been good friends with Erika for a very long time.
Mhm.
They were messaging each other on Facebook and Instagram, like on each other's pictures, years before she met Charlie. So how long has this been in design? Also, the whole fact that
Gosh.
when she was in at the same time as Charlie, they weren't supposed to be there together. She just said they were just so happened to be there, and she thought he was attractive, and her mom told him to go walk up to him. I feel like that was a plan, like that was supposed to be one of the days that they were supposed to meet and mesh, but she couldn't do it for some reason. Maybe she was nervous. And so Tyler Bauer had to introduce them. So it seems
I
like
don't think she was nervous. He probably just wasn't interested. He probably wasn't interested at that time.
Yeah, and
it definitely.
Candace was with him.
Yeah.
And so, maybe that was a little more intimidating to walk up to him with Candace Owens.
Who knows?
Candace has been a name for quite a while, so
yeah. So
I
it's
don't
like
know.
it's almost like it's not the question of the whole plot. Tyler Robinson killed Charlie. Everybody
Right.
knows that did not happen. We all
Allegedly.
know that it's allegedly.
Allegedly.
And allegedly it's right.
Yeah.
So we know what happened, but now it's like the question is how long have they been planning this?
Yeah.
Because it is just completely falling apart.
It is. But thank God that it's falling apart.
God.
Thank God
This is the
people
coolest thing ever.
It's the most
so
amazing. Because it's not like being vindicated or whatever. It's like, no, the truth is finally prevailing over the evil in real time in front of our eyes.
Mhm.
He died, 9 months ago, and the times are different now. You
Mhm.
can't get psyops on over us.
Mhm.
You can't do it. Psyops don't work the same. Psyops are not psyoping.
They're not psyopy seasoning.
No. All right, so this is interesting.
Yeah, this is where Jimmy Dore is covering Rock's response to the assassination.
Let's take a look.
Was struck by a concealed, internally triggered pneumatic or chemical device, likely integrated into his microphone rig or under his shirt. It released a blood-like fluid and caused real physiological collapse. The absence of external ballistic rules out a traditional sniper shot. The precision and contaminant suggests premeditated sabotage, not a prop malfunction or a hoax. So it's not a bullet, not fake blood for show, but possibly a real lethal close range weapon disguised as event tech.
It's from Grok saying that. And let's kind of just go through the bullet points here. Let's take a little let's go through the bullet points. So, with the whole charge device, right?
Mhm.
You had the DOD had a contract,
Yes.
right? The DOD had a contract with this company that produced small anti-personnel explosives,
Mhm.
right? And so this company got the DOD contract a couple months before Charlie was assassinated, right? And then you've got, speaking of that same company, the building blew up less than a month after Charlie was assassinated. The building that produced the little explosive detonators that the DOD had a contract with explodes, kills all 18 people in the building. Okay, so anybody that would have known. And then you've got the paving over where it happened.
Yeah.
At the campus. They paved over it a couple days after on a Sunday in a very religious city. And the guy goes on a podcast and he talks about how nobody would answer because nobody does work on Sundays out there because they're super Christian, or I believe they're Mormon.
Mormon, yeah.
Out in Utah, right? Super Mormon.
Yeah.
So they dig I think it was like 10 feet into the ground to put pavers and concrete
Mhm.
right after he died.
The day after, right?
I think it was like 2 days after.
Oh my gosh.
Insane, because that's a crime scene.
Yeah.
Makes no sense.
Yeah.
They didn't allow bomb dogs near it.
Mm-hmm.
They brought the bomb dogs to a gun that the bomb dog couldn't even find because it was never shot
Yeah.
on land that Palantir owns.
Oh.
Okay. And then you've got in the car, the photos from the car or the SUV where Charlie was taken after on his way to the hospital. They have photos of a whole bunch of black little shards all over the
in
SUV.
the vehicle. And there's a police report recording of a police officer saying that a body was hanging out of the car, the
Yeah.
SUV. I think Baron Coleman covered that
Yeah.
allegedly. I mean, I don't even know if it's allegedly because there was like a police recording
Yeah.
of the officer saying that he thinks the victim is wailing out of the car.
Yeah, he said the door's open and people are hanging out of the car.
I think it was Stu Peters that has stuck with this Mike theory this
The
whole time.
he's been saying
And
it.
I'm starting to think that this is what it is. I think the case is pretty much solved.
Yeah,
Do you think
I
it's
think
pretty
so.
much solved?
Yeah, I think it's solved. I
Like
think
there's going to be a lot of details involved, but as far as like the overall story, I think that it's pretty much solved.
I think it's solved. I think, allegedly, I think that it was who did it.
Yeah.
That was the who.
Yeah.
The motive was because he was turning his back on it, and he would have turned all the kids, all of the young population with him. They already did that to themselves, though. The kids are what changed Charlie's mind. He was the one that was going to all these campuses and tours and had to argue with kids on behalf of it
Yeah.
and the state of our government with it, right?
Yeah.
And he sat there and he was like arguing with them, and then he's like, man, I can't argue this. I think that they're right.
Yeah.
And so really the population changed his mind.
Yeah.
The one that you were trying to take him from to not change their minds,
Mhm.
they changed his mind.
Mhm.
So there's still nothing they could have done. So
Yeah.
it was the who, the why, and then you've got to figure out the when. When did they start planning this? I mean,
Yeah.
what do you think would make sense whenever he started turning his back, right?
I think that they have had control over it the whole time, and they
Right.
were ready to do this at any moment that
Yeah.
he made the decision to turn his back. But it's not only that he was turning his back, but that he was not progressing their narrative. He was deciding to not progress the narrative.
Right.
Because he could have kind of just ignored it, but that wasn't good enough either.
Right.
He needed to be pro, not
Right.
just ignoring it. Like he was maybe gonna try to do that.
Another point that I want to bring up with the actual Rode microphone. So everybody's talking about how he had on one of those little mics for a long time.
Yeah.
Like a couple years he would do that, right? And then what's so interesting about the whole thing is that the mic sometimes, Not all the time. Sometimes would be on the inside of his shirt, which, like we all know, you can't rub against those mics. You can't do that.
Mhm.
It's pointless to even have it, right? We all know this. But what I'm thinking is, we were talking about this the other day. The reason that they had the mic on the inside of the shirt, sometimes I think that was when there was a live detonator on him, on his personnel, whenever it was on the inside. And they could have done it any of those times that he ever had it on the inside.
Mhm.
But they finally took the shot on that day. But they could have actually done that plan. They could have actually done it any of the times that you see that his mic is turned inside out.
Like they had a few.
Like plots, right?
Yeah.
Like they could have done it any of those times. They were just waiting for like the perfect time.
Yeah.
And then they're waiting for a patsy to be lined up. And really, this was so sloppy with the whole entire thing. They weren't ready then. They probably never would be ready because the devil can never, it seems with these assassination attempts or assassinations that they do with JFK, with any of the high profiles, right?
Yeah.
Anybody that's ever been assassinated that was probably from our government or someone's government, right?
Yeah.
They're always sloppy, right?
Because they think that we're not paying attention. And I think that for a long time, we weren't.
Yeah.
And I think that this is literally a revival that's happening because of God. I think we're awakening to truth.
Yep.
And the truth seekers are more thirsty for the knowledge than we've ever been. And we can't tell you why. We can't tell you why. But we can just kind of know that it's God, and Charlie's death, that he even knew was going to happen by text messages he had with Candace. He
Yep.
knew that he would die young. And I think that it's all part of a bigger plan to bring everybody closer to God.
Yes, I agree.
He didn't die in vain.
Yeah, he didn't die in vain. You're 100% right. Speaking of Mikey Mccoy, though, we did pull up earlier.
Who is Elizabeth McCoy? To understand who someone is, it helps to understand where they came from. Born and raised in Santa Barbara, Elizabeth Jennifer Kravchuk was born to conservative Russo-Ukrainian immigrants Peter and Linda Kravchuk. Joseph Bondarenko, often referred to as the Billy Graham of Russia, is Elizabeth's maternal grandfather. He is a prominent Ukrainian evangelical minister who founded the Good Call Ministries. After the fall of the Soviet Union, he organized large-scale evangelistic crusades across the former Soviet republics. He also assisted with major events for evangelists like Billy Graham and Louis Peral in Russia and Ukraine. Billy Graham once remarked, "I thank God for the story of Joseph's life, and I consider it my honor to have been his co-worker on Christ's field in those historic days in Moscow."
Okay. So with that, why that's important is because he's got the Good Call Ministries, which Elizabeth McCoy is allegedly involved with because it is her family's ministry, right?
Yeah.
But what's interesting about that ministry, of course, is that they are involved with orphans in Eastern Europe, specifically
Allegedly?
Ukraine. It says that they are, right? So the Good Call Ministries, their whole thing is our hearts are heavy for the people of Ukraine, specifically orphans and seniors who need urgent attention and care. So your generous donations are already helping provide the rescue operations, a bakery, financial support, and ambulances and vans. So again, people surrounding Erika Kirk all have these ministries and these situations where they're helping children in other countries like Ukraine or Romania. Just very interesting,
Yeah,
right?
it is. So you're just pointing out that they work with children.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this one, is it making any allegations that it's bad?
Not yet, but
Well, I don't think, because I was just thinking, I'm like, maybe because Mikey McCoy is the one that is cracking because he has a little bit of a conscience.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he could maybe not come from the worst people.
well, let's see if this has anything. So it says right here, if you look up if there's any problems with Good Call Ministries, it says the issues and concerns about the Good Call Ministries. So is a legitimate 501c evangelical nonprofit, but Charity Navigator rates it 67, which is 2-star, due to missing financial statements and limited transparency, which are key concern for donors. That's interesting. So it says right here, transparency and accountability issues. It needs improvement overall with the entire score based on the accountability. So they don't provide financial statements in their latest filings, which limits ability to verify financial health. So that's not good. Lack of audit, review, or compilation of our financials, missing key policies, and then like whistleblower policy or document retention. These gaps reduce public trust and make it harder to assess financial accountability. And that is interesting because, if you're a 501c and all of your financials come from donations, people want to see exactly what you're doing with those donations.
Yeah.
Also, it says public perception and warning. So while there are no verified reports of fraud directly tied to the Good Call Ministries in the provided data, online Christian communities have warned about scams involving people posing as missionaries and church leaders. So
Yeah, just some more shady dealings, right?
Just some
it's
more.
just constant shady dealings.
Yep.
Nothing good is being found here.
Yeah.
Nothing good.
And, speaking of people who lie about their finances and lie about their ministry work and how many people they rescue, I thought this was interesting because, of course, Victor Marks back in November did an interview where he was questioned, where he questioned Tyler Robinson as the lone shooter in Charlie Kirk's assassination. And he says, I don't believe for one instance he would be a lone actor. There's no way.
Which I would say this, even just one thing that is factual, and there's a lot, but I don't believe the fella, if in fact he was the shooter, which he's only the alleged shooter legally until he's proven guilty beyond a shadow of a doubt. But there's a lot of things that have happened. I don't believe for one instance he would be a lone actor. There's no way. Second,
there's no way, he says.
Yeah. Well, first, I don't think Victor Marks was in on it. I don't think that he knew what the CIA was pulling off with Charlie Kirk. I think that he's very close with Erika, and Erika is very close with a bunch of shady people. But Victor Marks personally did not know the plan with Charlie Kirk. They wouldn't let that guy know.
No, I don't think so
would,
either.
He would mess it up.
That's a great point.
Because he's not, he's a psychopath. What would you, like schizophrenic almost?
Right.
Like he has some mental disorders, you can tell.
Yeah.
And it could be because of his childhood, but he's definitely not put together enough mentally to hold some secret CIA operation.
I agree.
In his head.
And so, yeah, he was probably just looking at the facts like we all were.
Yeah.
And he's like, this doesn't add up. He's not the dude who did this or the only man who did this.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, it's just funny how they all go back on their true word. That was his real opinion, I believe. And he's going back on it now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it is interesting that he was actually on our side in the beginning.
He's like, wait, something's off here.
He's like, that makes no sense. So interesting. I thought that was something funny to pull up.
Speaking of all the fraudsters, let's pull up the White House news.
There's a lot of it.
Yeah, so Trump is flipping a switch here, huh?
He sure is. So we've got quite a few videos because the last few days at the G7 summit and then also here back in the States, Trump was asked many times about Bibi and our relationship with them moving forward. With the whole Iran deal that we were supposed to sign, right? And each time he goes in a little more and more and more on Bibi and on it. And so it's just nice to see, It's nice to see.
Well, so he's doing what he does best, and he's giving the people what they want.
And Bibi Netanyahu worked well with me, but he will tell you, we're the ones with the guns, we're the ones with the whole deal, we're the ones with the B-2 bombers, etc. If it weren't for Donald Trump, Israel would have been eviscerated.
Your relationship with Netanyahu's...
It's good, but we have to keep him a little bit sane. I mean, you have people living there. Buildings are being dropped on top of them or right alongside of them. How would you like to live there? It's so unfair, especially Beirut. You go into Beirut, and I looked at the scene 2 days ago, yesterday, where they hit. That was a big hit. That was unnecessary in my book. Yeah, he's very good with Hezbollah, does not like them. And I'll tell you what, Israel's fighting Hezbollah too long, and too many people are being killed. And you don't have to knock down an apartment house every time you're looking for somebody, because there are a lot of people in those apartment houses, and they're not all Hezbollah, that I can tell you.
A whole genocide later.
Right.
A whole ass genocide later, you finally are admitting that too many people are being killed.
Right. It's like, we all know that you saw. Don't pretend like you didn't see this the whole time. There's no way.
Yeah.
You know, you saw, you knew what was going on.
You've seen people in their system, Ben Gvir and Smotrich, who've attacked the deal. And I guess my response to them would be, what is your exact proposal? And, you know, you're a country of 9 million people. You can't just kill your way out of solving every single national security problem that you have.
Another disagreement that we have on the right that's especially erupted after Charlie was assassinated is about Israel's role in American politics and the argument over whether or not they have an outsized influence here in the U.S. And so what is your take on that? Do you believe that Israel has an outsized influence in the U.S.?
Well, I certainly think that Israel, like a lot of other countries, tries to influence American politics. I sort of take that as a given. And what I think is that American leaders have to be very careful that when we pursue something, we're doing it for America's best interest and not for any other country's best interest.
We totally agree with that.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous. This is so ridiculous. They're trying to save face, like you just said. They're losing the vote. They're losing the American people, and this is their only option. They are faced with the option Americans or and the way that they're going to make the most money is if they choose the Americans. So that's what they're doing right now.
No, right. And they'll keep their power, you know. They'll keep their power in hand with their big companies like Peter Thiel pretty much controls JD Vance at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, he always has. And so they're going to keep everything in order if they go along with the narrative that the people want, right? And so that is the only reason that they're getting into all of this and they're going against everything. And actually, I think I just saw today that Iran called off the
peace deal
because of it.
It's so easy for them to just go look in their analytics and see what the American people are for and what they're against. And they're seeing the numbers are overwhelming against you know what. And so they are just literally saving face and saying what they need to say.
Yes. 100%.
Yeah, they know what we want and they're just telling us what we want to hear.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, it looks like it didn't even work. That was a nice couple days that they were going against it. But I guess it's coming out right now that this just happened. Looks like today. It says, this is from Trump. You close it and you won't have a country. President Trump said he told the Iranian officials about the Strait of Hormuz. You won't even make it back to your effing country. We may take over the strait if we have to, Trump says. If they don't make a deal, we collect tolls. And Trump added the U.S. could become the guardian angel of the strait and take 20% of the oil. So that's just that's a far cry from what he just said the paper or the deal included, which was giving Iran full control of the strait with the other countries around Iran. Right?
Is that what it was?
Yes, and that's never happened in history. We've always had, I think since like the 50s, I could be wrong, I'm not a historian, but since a long time ago, we've had the majority of control of all of the oil going out there. And so part of this negotiation, this peace deal that was supposed to be signed was that that Iran was supposed to have control of the strait. And so it is kind of funny now that Trump's saying, no, we're actually going to do that. Because also he probably realized even Tucker read that on air and he was like, this is ridiculous. In what world? And so he probably saw that and he's like, oh yeah, you can't have control of the strait.
Yeah.
And
never
so it
mind.
looks like, yeah.
Seems like there's a lot of never minds happening. Like, just kidding, never mind.
Always, right?
I take that back.
Right.
It's so tricky. It's so tricky. Just like in the Bible, it says when you are going to tell somebody something, actually, what does it say? I'll pull it up right now. It's in Matthew, all about Matthew. But let your communication be yea, yea, or nay, nay. For whatsoever is more than these cometh of evil. So anything that is not a yes or a no There's space for confusion, and confusion is chaos, and that is of the devil.
Yes.
So we're not in the higher systems of the world as we know it. It's so much confusion because there is never a straight answer on anything.
And that's what the devil loves, is to keep us confused and keep us divided, and the whole population. And if you're confused and you're divided, then you're not going to really stand for anything. And that's what the devil loves the most.
Yeah.
We've got Sinex here, at Sinex Official. He says about the new post from Trump today. Essentially, Trump is asking everyone not to respond to attacks. The solution is so simple: sanction for derailing peace talks. And it's so true. It is so simple. It is a yes answer, right? Sanction for derailing the peace talks because they did. So it is so simple. The answer is so simple. It's in front of all of our faces. It looked like this weekend they were getting on the right side, that Trump and JD were getting on the right side. And then, of course, it just gets totally sabotaged so quickly.
Yeah. The truth shined on that one very fast. It was like, oh, wait, no.
Yes.
You workers of iniquity, you don't speak the truth.
This is just what it is,
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
They divide and they conquer. They divide and they leave us all angry with one another. It'll be Muslim against Christian, black against white, left versus right, and women versus men. But behind them all is the devil and Satan himself controlling every single narrative.
Yes.
So, Larry Loomer, apparently wanted to post some text messages between her and Charlie before he had died. Right.
Okay.
And then Candace Owens was like, I don't think so. Here's text messages that we had about you before he died, you know? So it's a little drama. Let's take a look. So right here, Larry Loomer.
When Charlie invited me to his office, he called me. Tyler Boyer and Andrew Colvitt can confirm this. If he thought I was a nut job, he wouldn't have flown me out and hosted me at his office. RX Maxwell was present in the building while I was still there. He too can confirm.
Here's some text I had with Charlie, though, in June 2025. So here we are. This is what she's alleging he texted her. So what the F is the Hodge twins issue, like actually? She said, anti-Semites, just like Candace. Hope you're done with them after this. Lots of Jew haters. Candace has gone off the deep end. And then he says, I hope you see I've had Donald Trump's back here. So that's all he says, which is interesting, right? He's like, here, let them know that I've had his back, okay? I'm not going to reply to you, psycho.
I'm not I'm not going to engage.
Yes.
So is that all she's posted?
Yes.
That doesn't show anything that he's putting her to the side.
Doesn't show anything.
Yeah.
And then here's Charlie Kirk and Candace Owens text messages.
Okay.
So she says, I was genuinely pained watching that segment on Fox News with his campaign spokesperson trying to dance around just condemning what Laura said. Truly so stupid. He says, I'm dedicating every fiber of my being to help Trump, and this is just a middle finger. She says, I know. He says she could be a Fed. And she says, I feel bad for you guys. I don't trust her. This doesn't make any sense. It's turning off Republicans to Trump. This is the girl who mocked Thomas Massey's absence when he was burying his wife. Candace also said, by the way, Laura texted me. I think she's manic. He said, yeah, Loomer. She is main depressant, 100,000%. And then she's like, I accept I cannot speak and understand my, at the very least attend. Charlie should let me so then I can see everyone. I live in town. He says, so they're just talking crap.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
They're not, obviously he doesn't like her. He doesn't want her at this event that she was trying to get in so hard. Right.
Yeah. Basically saying that she's a mess, like a total mess.
Yes.
Yeah. X is kind of like just a shitty platform now. Honestly, it
so
sucks.
toxic.
It sucks. It's toxic. And it's like, it just isn't good overall. Like the news you get, the things you are trying to look for, you can't find. Like, I don't like it. You can tell that it's definitely pushing a narrative and pushing the audience in a certain direction. Trying to.
It's trying to. And I mean, it's working. But it's also not working because, like we've been saying, so many people are opening their eyes. So many people are actually speaking the truth and seeing the truth and trying to push that truth out there. As long as we all keep going and don't stop, will be able to continue having little wins and continue the truth being out there and fighting the evil and the devil in this world.
Yeah, and being the light and letting it shine for the world. Like,
Yeah.
let the truth shine. Like, tell everybody you know about the truth that you know, because this is crazy. I believe that we are changing the course of not just you and I,
No.
everybody, the
Mhm.
good doers of the world, the righteous. I believe that we are changing the trajectory of the world by our prayers and then by our voices. We're
Yep.
using our words to say the truth, and the enemy is losing.
Yep.
And we could see it. They're losing. Trump's flopping all over the place. Erika Kirk is making mistakes again, saying the wrong words. You know, like they're falling apart.
They're falling apart. Just keep doing your part. We'll keep doing our part. Let's all get the truth out there. Let's stay kind, stay humble, stay ready to go, and always reprove the evils of this world.
Yes, we are called to reprove, and we're called to spread the light. And the good news that, I think that this is the right direction. This is God's ultimate plan for sure. So let's just enjoy the small moments of victory when the truth is prevailing. That's what's happening right now. The truth is prevailing, and we are on the right side, guys. So let's stay that way. And if you like this conversation today, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps our channel to grow.
And if you want to check us out on Patreon or Spreaker to get that uncensored, uncut, unredacted, full videos with exclusive content coming soon for members.
And remember, you guys, we have a lot more in common than they want you to think. Till next time.